Hello, you are watching Comfort Food Dudes, and I'm Shawn. And in today's video, I'm going to make a tortilla casserole. Stick around and see how I do it. Okay, so to prepare this, just need some basic ingredients. This meal is kind of just done on the cheap. Okay, so I have about a pound of brown ground beef. Okay, and of course I got some tortilla shells. These are whole wheat kind. We always use whole wheat for the most part here. Okay, just got some diced tomatoes, whatever you have for diced tomatoes. Can of just corn. Okay, and I'm gonna have 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup, 1 can of cream of chicken soup, and some taco seasoning. And I just have a little bit of creamer here just to loosen the mushroom and chicken soup up a little bit. Okay, so the very first thing I'm going to do, and also I do have my oven preheating right now to 400 degrees, which this will ultimately go into a casserole dish and cook for about 20 minutes with the lid on, and then under the broiler for a minute or 2 to brown the cheese, which will top everything. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and just open my cans here. Okay, so I've opened my cans and I've strained my tomatoes and I've drained the juice, the water rather, out of the corn. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and get the soups into the bowl. Okay, we just want to make this, get the chunks out, get it all creamy, however you got to blend it together. This is where I'd use some creamer, just enough to loosen it up. We don't want it too thin because we want the sauce to be thick as it's baking together. I'm going to switch over to a whisk though, just to loosen it up a bit. Okay, a little more probably. Okay, so I've gone in, it's probably less than a cup in total for 3 cans of these creamed style soups. Okay, and then at this point I just use probably about 1/8 of a cup of the taco seasoning. Okay. You could add sliced mushrooms to this just as well. I'm not going to today. I have, and it definitely doesn't hurt the project. It always increases flavor, in my opinion. But for this meal tonight, just what I have here. And you can add different things. That's the beauty of these kind of meals that we often make around here. It's just what's in your cupboard, what's in your fridge. Do you have leftovers you need to use up, such as ground beef and maybe some extra tomatoes that you didn't use in a pasta or something. Okay, and you can always just give it a taste. Yeah, so like I said, about 1/8 of a cup of this taco seasoning, and turns out pretty decent. So okay, so we're just gonna roll in our diced tomatoes here. Okay, and the can of corn. This one's just peaches and cream. You can use crisp corn or corn right off the cob if you have it. And same with just the ground beef mixture. Just dump it in. I have a little bit of kosher salt, just a pinch. Don't need too much. Taco seasoning's got enough salt content also, so you don't need a ton, but I do like to add some extra. And pepper, just what you feel like. I like to put a fair amount of pepper into these. If you don't have people in your house that don't care for, you know, very spicy foods and stuff, go ahead and add what you want for spice. My daughter doesn't like it very spicy, but she does like this meal, so we can just put sriracha on the final product on our plates instead of making the whole meal hot. But if it was just my wife and myself, we would spice this up a lot. Probably add in jalapenos and just whatever hot peppers we can get our hands on. Okay, so it's just a thick sauce, meat sauce. You can always add more meat if you want also, and I've done this with chicken just the same. It works just fine. So again, just using up what you have available. And just a little taste of kind of everything. Even though it's cold, it's okay. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it at that, and I'll just set this aside. Okay, so for the tortilla wraps here, these are the 10-inch. I believe they're 10-inch anyway. But anyway, I used about 6 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So I just cut them down the middle, cut them again, cut them again. Just want to cut them into squares. Okay, so I've kind of divided them up into a few piles here because I do about 3 layers when I'm making this in the think lasagna, just layering between meat sauce and the noodles. Instead, we're just doing meat sauce and then the tortilla shells. Okay, so just move this out of the way a little bit. It's a 9x13 casserole dish, pre-greased already, that I just did. Okay, so all I do is just put a little bit on the bottom here. Do it how you like. But you want to just make sure you got enough of the mixture to do the 3 layers as well. Okay, so usually, because my bowl is rounded, I like to have the ends here that are kind of round. And I just start them around. And pretty much you just want to fill up all the space on the bottom of the casserole here. Okay, so just cover the bottom, and just a couple scoops of the meat sauce, and spread it the best you can. Okay, just spread. If you like tons of cheese, you could sprinkle a layer of cheese right now, but I don't usually use that much for this. Okay, and then you just repeat process. Okay, and we used to use just much larger chunks of the tortilla shells in here, but just we found that when you're first initially slicing and trying to dish out, it's harder to cut through it all. So if we use much smaller pieces, we can just kind of scoop out when we're first serving out, which makes it a lot cleaner to get into the dish. Okay, and I'm just going to put the final amount on here. I only do it the way you can see, but pretty basic here. Okay. Okay, so I have just a little over a cup of shredded cheese here. Use whatever kind of cheese you like. Okay, and we're just going to sprinkle over the top. Okay, I didn't use all the cheese. I don't have to. You can add different types of cheese too, like multiple types. Like you could add a Parmesan to this, or you could add something like a pepper jack, or something that's got some heat to it, more flavor. This will work for today's example. Okay, and I just have some green onion, just put a little. Okay, so I'm just going to put this into my preheated 400-degree oven for 20 minutes with the lid on, and then as soon as the timer goes off, I'm just going to take the lid off and turn it to broiler, and just going to brown the cheese, pull it out, and that's it. Alright, so that's it. So it's been in the oven for 20 minutes at 400 and under the broiler just for about 3 or 4 minutes here, and it's nicely brown now. These are generally nicely flavored. Every bite has something good in it, and you can make it hotter, and you can just really mix it up how you want. It's again, it's kind of a pantry dish or a leftover dish, whatever you have kicking around. And this is kind of one of the ways we like to do it, and we definitely enjoyed this kind of a meal. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to dish this out for our family for dinner tonight. And if you like this kind of video, please give us a thumbs up and stay tuned for more great videos that'll be surely coming. Take care.